Man, time flies. The 2023-24 school year is over. We are 140 episodes in. Welcome to Season 6.
Buckle up for safety as I give you a day in the life of facilities maintenance.
We have a problem here at this little outdoor rink we've got, and that is that the pucks that the kids use, and I just rolled one underneath the fence. I'll see if I can still see it from here. They go right underneath the bottom edge of this, well, the boards really. Yeah, there's one out there. Right there. It's only about 1 1/8 inches thick, so yeah, it's gonna go underneath these boards. If they used a hockey ball, it would still go underneath in the places that it is higher. At the ends, it's not so bad because the surface is crowned a little bit, so for water runoff. So I have this puck board. It's actually the same material that you see on hockey boards, except this is black. It's quite flexible. And I'm going to put it around the outside edge, allowing for a bit of a gap for water drainage. Got some stainless steel self-tapping screws that I'm going to put it in with, and I've got a spacer, these little pieces of aluminum here that are thinner than the puck, that I am going to use as my gauge so that I don't get too close to the ground. Basically, I set one of those on my lowest point of the piece that I'm putting on, and then I'll just run it out. I want to keep them level. Anyways, that's what I'm doing this morning before the rains come. Now, the length that I cut these things will be determined by the spacing of my posts and whatnot, because I would like to tag the ends of these into a post for strength, obviously. So I am one piece in, and I'm having some thoughts already, and basically that thought is that they're gonna have to stop using those orange pucks. It's one thing to cut these pieces of puckboard to length. It's a whole nother thing to start ripping them lengthwise, tapering them to accommodate the slope of the actual decking itself here. Yeah, that's too much to deal with. If they used a hockey ball, we're good. See, what I've been doing here is following the edge of the board itself. I'm just following the bottom of that gray edge. And I pretty much have to, or else it's gonna look all wonky. It needs to be level. It needs to look good from a distance. That looks great. And that will be enough all the way along the side here. Like, the sides are fine because it's consistent. But it's when you get to the ends and you get this taper going on. At the end of the day, they may still lose a few pucks. Or perhaps I install what I can with the actual thickness of the puck board and then taper a couple of pieces. Actually, it really would only be 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces that would need to be taper cut. So perhaps I could do that, but I will lay down as much of this untapered stuff as I can first.
Okay, a couple things. These screws are proving to be much harder to drive than I first thought. I think it's because they're stainless steel. They're not quite as hard. And the other thing is that the puckboard is only really needed where the fence corresponds to the construction area on the other side of the fence. Where there's no construction area, the kids can just run around and grab the ball if necessary. But where there's construction, they can't enter that space.
These puckboard pieces are exactly 8 feet long. It would have been nice if these main posts were 8 feet on center, but they're not.
And that doesn't seem right, does it?
I can catch that one by about 1/4 inch. And then same on this side, about 1/4 inch. And I want to catch the ends because that'll give them the strength they need to be able to stop any missile-like projectiles flying into them. It's kind of a compromise here between strength and how it's going to be used. So I originally cut this piece to just overlap that edge because I want the strength that this provides. However, when you're playing here and you're digging for the puck and you're digging around the net, I don't want anything to catch on that edge either, so I think I'm going to have to set it back like that so it's recessed. It won't have the same strength in this direction, but it won't catch on anything. Well, if you don't get too close to it, it's looking good from a distance. I think at the end of the day, they are going to have to stop using the indoor floor hockey pucks. They're too thin. And I say that they're too thin because I need to mount the top edge of the puck board level with the top of this metal framework here so that there's at least some strength when I attach it. If I drop it down too low like this, there's just no strength here. That's the way I've been installing it. And if the pucks go underneath, they'll just have to switch to an outdoor hockey ball. So as I'm installing the full 8-foot lengths in between the posts that are supposed to be spaced at 8 feet on center, I'm pretty sure that they're supposed to be 8 feet on center, but they're not. Just remember how I was saying that it's pretty much 8 feet in between the posts. I can overlap by about a 1/4 inch there and a 1/4 inch there. And it just reminded me of something. It would make sense to do these 8 feet on center. That's the way you lay stuff out. Everything's made at 8-foot lengths, you know? So 8 foot on center on the posts would make the most sense. And I remembered something. And I remembered that this gate here, well, I'm thinking both gates actually, but when they went to install the gate, they went to install the gate last and it wouldn't fit. It was too wide, which tells me that they were supposed to be putting these posts at 8 feet on center, and they went 8 feet between the posts, which didn't leave them enough room to put the gate in, and which is why they had to custom make a gate.
Which is kind of one of those funny, not funny things. I guess it's too late to ask for a refund, hey?
Well, I've been at this an hour and a half, and everything's pretty much giving out at the same time. I'm running out of screws, I'm running out of knees to kneel on, and I'm running out of time. An hour and a half has gotten me this far, basically half the rink. I have 8 screws left. Nope, I just used 2. I have 6 screws left. Okay, so clearly I underestimated the number of screws that I would need, so I'll need to get some more to finish off the other half of the rink here. The other thing too, and this might be a little trickier, is the backs of these nets. I'm actually not sure why they built the sides all the way to the ground, but didn't do that for the backs. Yeah, I have no idea why they didn't do that, but I will have to do something there. I don't think this puck board is wide enough to be able to use attaching it from the outside. Let me check. And if it's not, I'll have to make something else. Yeah, if I take that right to the ground, I really don't have much of an edge to fasten anything on. If I do it like that, well, I guess I could do it like that. That would still stop a hockey ball. But remember now, it's coming at it from the backside, so it's adding a lot more stress to it. I guess I could attach it on the inside like that. Yeah, that'd be the best way to go. But again, why didn't they build the back part right to the ground, like they did the sides?
Facilities maintenance, because engineers need heroes too.
Well, I'm down to 3 screws, and I gotta say the force to drive these in is a lot. I don't know if it's because being a stainless steel screw, it's not quite as sharp as a tech screw, or it's not quite as hard as a tech screw, or maybe it's because this galvanized framework that I'm going into is very hard. It's taking an awful lot of effort to drive these screws, and it's gassing me out. I'm very glad I've only got 3 screws left, because I don't have it in me to finish off the other side here. And besides, I'm not going to get this done before lunch today, and I'd like to give this back to the kids so they have it for noon. So what I've focused on here is that corner, because that goes into a construction site, and that whole side there, because if they lose a ball out there, that's going into the construction site as well. So now they can play in here, and the only balls that they will lose will be on a side that they can access them, or these side nets, because as I was saying, the backs don't go down to grade, which makes no sense. Goofy design. The main goals do, which just makes me wonder what was going on with these ones. Maybe it was for drainage, but I guess whoever designed it wasn't thinking playability. I mean, it would still drain even if it did go down to the floor. Water would just sneak its way through and it might catch a few leaves, but you clean that out and you start playing. But functionally, it doesn't make for a functional goal in that regard.
This is what I'm talking about here. I am putting as much force behind that as I can, and it's rubbing a hole in the frame, but it's not biting and going through.
Well, I've done what I can for the day. I'm out of screws, and I'm pretty much done bending down and getting up again. It's an awful lot of effort to drive these self-tapping stainless steel screws into this galvanized framework. I probably had about a 12% failure rate on these screws. They just weren't sharp enough, and I'm pushing with an awful lot of effort to get these things in. So I will have to come back at another time to finish off the other side, and as I was mentioning, do something about these goals as well. Okay, so not quite a finished project, but a work in progress. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.